Kaplan will head up both companies. Mr Murdoch, though, will continue as executive chairman and chief executive of Fox Corporation. 5 people in Britain are to be charged with spying for Russia. The 3 men and 2 women are due in court next week. The charges follow an investigation by London's Metropolitan Police. Relations between India and Canada are continuing to plummet. India's suspended visas for Canadians and warned diplomat numbers are likely to be cut after Ottawa blamed Delhi for the death of a Canadian Sikh activist. King Charles has toured the renovations at Notre Dame Cathedral after becoming the first British monarch to address the French Senate. Now it's time for sport. Let's get a full roundup from Ollie Foster at the BBC Sports Centre.
Regina, many thanks indeed. England's women have reached an agreement with the Football Association over bonuses and commercial opportunities. Now, talks have been going on since the end of last year. They were paused in July so the team could concentrate on the World Cup. Speaking ahead of tomorrow's Nations League match against Scotland, the England captain revealed that the dispute has finally been settled.
We've come to an agreement, but I think it's bigger than just the bonus. For us, it's like I said, about being world leaders on and off the pitch. And as we know, the women's game is evolving very quickly, and conversations like this need to happen in order to make sure in all areas we're at the top of our game. And yeah, like I said, the conversation was extremely positive, and as players we feel really confident moving forward that the structure that we now have in place.
It looks really good, and that of course makes me very happy, because it's good for the players, good for the women's game to move forward and to take the next step. But it's also so good for us, and we can focus on football, which we did anyway in the World Cup too, because it didn't distract. But at the end, when you start playing football, you don't want to have that discussions at that moment and do that at a later point, and that's exactly what happened.
In the men's game, the Europa League group stages start on Thursday. 4 British sides in that: Rangers, West Ham, Liverpool and Brighton, who are preparing for their first European campaign in their history. It starts at home to Greek side AEK Athens.
We believe in ourselves. We believe in the quality of the players, first of all, the level of the club. But we know we are Brighton. We know our level. But we have the ambition to become better and better, step by step, in every competition, in every game.
Well, Liverpool's first group game is away to Lask in Austria. The last time they were in this competition was 8 seasons ago. They went on to reach the final. That was Jurgen Klopp's first season in charge.
It was a different squad. We were actually not ready. We came somehow through. But I wouldn't compare it. It's completely different. It's a different time, different team. We are better prepared for the competition. It doesn't mean we go to the final. It just means we are better prepared, and we enjoy it more to be here than we did that time, because we had no clue what we have to expect.
Now, Ireland have named their team to face the holders South Africa. That's the pick of the pool games at the Rugby World Cup this weekend, pitching the top 2 ranked sides against each other at the Stade de France, where the final will be held. The Irish are number 1 in the world. Andy Farrell, the head coach, has made just the one change to his starting 15. Scrum half Jamison Gibson-Park returns in place of Conor Murray after that bonus point victory against Tonga last weekend. The winners of Saturday's match will be very well placed to top the pool and book a probable quarter-final against New Zealand. Andy Murray's through to the second round at the Zhuhai Championships in China. He's playing in the country for the first time since 2019, which was also the same year that he won his last ATP Tour title. For Murray eased past the local wildcard, Mo Yi Kong, in straight sets, 7-5, 6-3. The former world number 1 has got Aslan Karatsev next. Now, cricket, having been recalled for the abandoned one-day international against Ireland at Headingley to try and find some form ahead of the World Cup, Joe Root will not play any part in the remaining 2 matches in the series. Somerset's Tom Kohler-Cadmore, he has been added to the squad ahead of Saturday's second ODI at Trent Bridge in Nottingham. He'll join up after his county's championship match, which is due to finish on Friday. A busy few days for him. Kohler-Cadmore is a really powerful wicket-keeper batter who has become a regular on the franchise circuit. Lots more, of course, on the BBC Sport website on all those stories, but that's all for now.
Thanks, Ollie. Now, on the second day of King Charles's state visit to France, he's toured the renovations of the Notre Dame Cathedral. The King spoke to firefighters who helped battle the 2019 blaze, which severely damaged the building. Earlier, he became the first British monarch to address the French Senate from the floor of the chamber. The King spoke for about 20 minutes, mainly in French. Well, let's go live to Paris and speak to my colleague Lewis Vaughan-Jones. So, Lewis, what are the main features of the King's speech?
Hi, Virginie. Thanks very much for that. Yes, it was a speech that really underlined some of those core themes that this whole state visit is about, that unity, partnership, friendship between France and the UK. As you mentioned, in the last couple of hours, he's been here at Notre Dame. You can see all the scaffolding and the cranes. The rebuilding process is still ongoing after that fire back in 2019. More on that in just a moment, though. First, let's focus in on that speech, because that was, I suppose, the more political bit of the day, day two of King Charles's state visit to France. And it started, as you say, with that speech in French and in English. Let's take a listen to some of it.
La longévité de votre démocratie est reflétée aussi.
Your long-lived democracy can be seen in the long friendship which brings our nations and peoples together. Our partnership is built on a shared experience, and it is of vital importance as we face the challenges of the world. Quite simply, the United Kingdom shall always be one of the closest allies and one of the best friends of France.
Is BBC News. Now it's time to take a look at the business news with Samantha Simmons.
Regina, thank you. Well, we are